fighter. Damn. The leprechaun. What's his name? Conor. You get Conor McGregor, and he going to be a woman. Come on, man. He's clinching people like they've never been clinched. He's punching people with that left hand like they've never been punched. I don't care how many fucking estrogen pills he take. He's beating bitches' asses in the octagon. And I am not a racist. I called you leprechaun because I heard you speak that language. Or not that language. Let me stop. But I'm not a racist against people, Australian people. Nigga, Irish. Oh yeah, Irish. And that's leprechauns are Irish, right? With the little boots.
I'm just trying to live my
Australian.
Have a normal male.
I couldn't think it's Irish. I knew it was red hair. I promise I'm not Irish. I love Irish people. I love pots of gold. I love those little boots. Those belt buckles on the boots. Those gold belt buckles. I love it. The busting noobs business is booming.
It's nothing new. Come on, CEO, a busted news coming through. Better duck and move. CEO, a busted news. Let's get it. CEO, it's nothing new. CEO, a busted noobs coming through. Better duck and move.
That you hear most of the time is against trans women. So does that mean that you're okay with trans men having that disadvantage?
Hi, my name is Howard.
I don't know how I'm feeling about this gorgonzola cheese.
I've been a swimmer for 13 years, and currently I'm on the UCLA triathlon team.
My name's Jing, and I've been swimming for 11 years.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I've been playing indoor volleyball for 7 years, and I've been playing beach volleyball for 3 years.
My name is Afton. I play women's flat track roller derby, and I've been playing since the end of 2018.
My name is Mac Beggs. I'm a wrestler. I've been in combat sports for 8 years.
My name is Sydney. I played tennis growing up for 13 years, and now I am a fitness coach.
First off,
trans athletes have an unfair advantage.
look how tall she is.
Step forward if you agree.
That's insane. Come on.
When you first think about like transgender athletes, I guess the first thing you think about is
why don't they tell us when they was telling us who these people are? Why didn't they tell us born woman or born man? Like we could tell with the big green girl, right? We could tell that we gonna call her She-Hulk. We could tell with She-Hulk that was a man, right? We could tell. But I'm saying, why do we not? I'll be back when the game start running. Why don't they tell us, yo, this one was born this way, this one was born, like, why are they telling us? See, I forgot to sprinkle my gorgonzola in here. Yeah, big green girl, that's She-Hulk. I don't know about this cheese. I'm not a cheese fanatic. I'm just not. Like, y'all love it. I'm not.
Biologically, transition usually happens after puberty, right? So if this biologically male athlete goes through puberty, he gets like better bone structure, he has all these skills that he enhances, all these muscle that he puts on, and then he transitions. Yes, your testosterone levels go down, but you're always just gonna have that like things that you've gone through like during puberty that you have after you've transitioned. So I feel like there's always gonna be that advantage.
Yeah, Keon?
I think it's dependent on the gender that they are transitioning to.
Right.
For example, trans women do have somewhat of an advantage. Biological men are naturally born with higher bone density and larger lung capacity and a larger heart, and that's not something that can necessarily be changed with hormones. Of course, this isn't the same for trans men athletes.
For me, it's just on average, guys are typically a little bit stronger, a little bit larger, a little bit taller. So depending on the sport especially, it can give them a large advantage when you're looking at something like that. When it's something like swimming, having that ability to be a little bit larger lung capacity will overall affect that.
Can I have the disagreeer step forward?
He said it perfectly. It's that easy. It's that easy.
Among cisgender men and cisgender women, there are naturally differences in their anatomy, in their hormonal levels, in their height, bone structure, all that stuff. Like any cisgender woman compared to another might have a different body type. Yeah. Some women are naturally very strong. If you take the advantage, which I think in most cases is the hormones, and if you compare the blood work and you're just looking at that, if they're on the same level, in my opinion, there just isn't an advantage, because when you grow up playing sports, some people are good at sports, some people aren't.
The problem I see with this argument is that there's a large group of people that no matter what I do in a sport will always automatically assume that I have an advantage.
Yeah.
But they're not taking into account hours that I put into practice.
Don't matter,
that
bro.
I put into weightlifting to become a better athlete.
Don't matter, bro.
Roller derby is probably
You're playing with women. They're not as strong as you.
I get my ass handed
Period.
to me. Like, yes, I am tall, and I can see that can be an advantage in
Oh,
some
you can see it?
sports,
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily guarantee that I have an advantage.
Oh yeah. What we usually hear in the like news and like politics and stuff is about
Right.
trans women, just because they're in so much prominence, because they are winning. Like, I can't remember what her name is right now, but she was a power lifter. She is a power lifter. I think she went to Tokyo Olympics, and she's transgender. And they're winning by like a large amount like of weight.
If you truly believe
Wow.
that trans women have an advantage, even with
Right.
hormones, then that means you truly
It's always
believe
gonna be
that
one-sided,
trans men
always.
have a disadvantage, even with hormones. So the argument that you hear most of the time is against trans women. So does that mean that you're okay with trans men having that disadvantage?
When I was like going through high school, I wrestled against females. I had to suppress both my hormones in my body, and I was still able to beat the men too, with my like levels low.
Okay, so this
Like,
is a
yeah,
woman
I cut
turned into a
15
guy,
pounds
right? You
week.
could
Like,
tell
that
with those
shit- that-
legs.
That was crazy.
No muscle. There's
But,
no
like, that's what I'm
muscle
saying,
down
like,
there
the
in those
body
legs.
is
Like, what's going on?
A shell. And what we do every single day in the practices and the
Yeah, genetically. It's
life
just
lessons
genetics,
that
bro.
we
That's what
get,
it
like,
comes down
living
to genetics.
40 years
Come
on this
on, like,
earth,
it's simple.
You know, we just try to live life the best we can.
Yeah.
Trans athletes should have a separate category in certain sports.
Yes. And let them be in that together.
What if you could control the web with your mind?
If you're a woman,
What if telekinesis?
or if you're a man that turned into a woman, you shouldn't go compete with other
interface
women
for the same
because
exact
you are
CSS
fucking
properties
a
used by the
man
world's
at the end of the
top
day,
designers.
and you're probably stronger and faster than all
if
of
you could
them.
learn to
Not every
build,
man is stronger and
launch
faster than every
entire
woman. We're not saying that.
using this
But I'm saying most men,
What would you do
the majority
with all this
is
now?
going to be,
And then we'd
you
cut
know,
to
That was the take.
the scale is off. So,
Fake mom.
like, again, LeBron James decides to be a woman. What? Who can compete? No one can compete.
I don't want to say that they should be in a completely different category, just because socially and legally, yes, they are that gender that they transition to, and putting them in another category just seems,
Socially and legally.
from hindsight, seems wrong. But as an athlete, like in the sporting world, it just does seem a little bit unfair
Yeah.
if you classify them under the same group, I guess.
Different
Yeah,
category.
I think that there definitely are some sports where your physical ability makes a much larger impact on the sport itself. Wrestling would be one of them. Swimming,
Nope, you will
track,
not.
something like that. But
Nope.
if you look at NASCAR as a sport, I believe that anyone can then go and do that sort of sport because that's more of a technique. If you look at other sports like
Golf.
golf, requires a lot of technique and a lot of strength. Plus, video games
That's
is
true.
now starting to make a massive
Exactly.
rise. So all of those could definitely have both genders in it with no problem. For swimming especially, if I were to decide that I would like to transition and then start all of the hormone therapy for a year or so, then obviously I would probably lose some muscle mass and I would slow down in my swimming, but I don't know if that slowdown would necessarily be
Exactly.
enough to make it fair for the cis females that I'd be competing up against.
Miss LeBron would just smoke everybody. Like this guy.
The danger of it.
Look at
is that
this
you're
guy.
possibly outing somebody.
Afton.
In America,
That's Birdman
alone,
turned into a
there's
woman.
Several places that it's still extremely dangerous to be an open transgender person. To say that you
Exactly.
can't perform unless you're in this group, there's just a lot of safety reasons.
Bro, really?
For that
Hold on. Like,
individual.
really? LeBron turns into a woman. He can go to the WNBA? What sense would that make? He'd be shooting half court shots. They would make the half court shots 8 points, and LeBron's would be scoring 8 points on every possession down the court. Like, come on. Right, video games is tough with the highest. That's true too. That's true too. Because again, it comes down to genetics. Right. They don't dunk, and LeBron would be dunking on every female down in the paint. He'll be dunking on 3 people at a time. Oh, he said ever. Oh, Miss LeBron would be dunking on, excuse me, 3 people at a time, bro. You wasn't shooting with me. Insane.
That it's not good. Second thing, where does the line draw? You're saying swimming, and you had mentioned
Look, she
earlier
looking
that,
like
height was an advantage. Did I go through puberty as a male? Yes. But in
a lot of
order to
testosterone
say
running through you,
that
buddy.
I have an advantage because I was born with testosterone is the equivalent of saying that, oh, I went to this gym one time and I lifted and I had a protein shake, so I should never.
Come on. Did he really equate that? When you are born a man and you got testosterone running through your... He's from Virginia. Ugh. If you got testosterone running through your body, that does mean automatically you have a fucking advantage over women because they have less. Oh, his shirt. Yeah, look at that. Because they have less testosterone is what builds muscle. And you know, it's like, come on. Like, yes, you need muscles to do these sports better, faster, whatever. Like, what is he talking about here? That's like saying I went to the gym one time on a protein shake. She-Hulk. Calm down, She-Hulk.
Never have to take a protein shake again because it's in my body.
Right.
And the medicine I'm taking stops that testosterone. I don't have that anymore. Like, my entire body, my entire
I don't have that anymore, but it's running through you already.
Thinking is different because of
your
the
way of
medicine
thinking.
Are we going to start making categories for cis athletes? Okay, you're in a category if you're 5'9" and above. 5'7" to 5'9", 5'5".
Yo, how tall is
like,
She-Hulk? Because she look about 6'2".
Exactly, where is the line drawn?
I mean, they
because,
do have weight categories.
well, yeah, for certain sports.
Thank
of course,
you.
But I mean,
look,
I
she's
think
smart.
just generally, every person.
And she got
is
them
different.
Jordans
like you're
on.
saying, like the cis
She a real
women
athlete.
that were getting cut because they're naturally.
She probably looking at She-Hulk like, I'll beat your ass in some
athletic
basketball.
To some
I don't care how tall you
standard
are.
That's set. It's like,
or even the varying levels of testosterone. Oh,
exactly.
you're in this box, so now you're in this league.
It should be.
I wasn't by any chance trying to discriminate against them and try and put them in their own category.
If she
in
does,
that
bro, you
way.
can tell she got the most
It was
brains.
more just by a performance
slam.
standpoint. We already do separate everyone into their own different levels. You don't have Olympic athletes coming and competing at state club levels.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of trying to become a better athlete then?
If they're trying to work up to
Right,
a
what do you
goal,
mean?
I'm not entirely sure.
So if you're good enough, you're going to be singled out and have to go. There's
the
no
best.
proof of any trans athlete.
That's
that
how it
is
works.
Number one in any category right now.
Yeah, that's because I think they're being held back so much by just like the media and everything that you don't get to see.
I don't
their chance to shine
understand.
in that
I don't
sense.
understand.
what would you guys say to like transgender people who transitioned before puberty?
In that instance, I think I would take a step.
Hold on, who mama letting them transition before? Well, oh, hold on, Dwayne Wade and oh my God. So we getting these Zaya Wades out here and saying that, oh, because you transitioned before, now Zaya can play in the WNBA. But Zaya's daddy is 6'3", former NBA champion, former league MVP, finals MVP. You don't think Zaya's going to grow to about, I don't care how much hormones you pumping. Zaya Wade is going to grow to what? Probably like 6 foot. And again, the bone density and all that, like she can hold more muscle. She can hold more muscle on her body. So if she did get in the weight room, even though there's hormones, women still can gain muscle. So, but she has a natural advantage to gain more muscle than these other women because she was a man. And it's like, come on, man. This is crazy. Before and there shouldn't be too many Zaya Wades right now. We should not be letting kids transition that early, man. We should not. just had a former special services dude transition and beat the shit out of a chick in MMA. Not in MMA. What? They letting. Oh my God, that's
Back in
unfair. You're gonna get
look
somebody
at it
hurt out
more
there.
of at like my own argument, like it was a scientifically based on like puberty and stuff.
Broker
so I
joke.
would, like,
Wow.
consider like it that would be different, but my mindset just coming into this, I mean, I think that most people go through transitioning like after puberty, or it's like encouraged
more
to.
common.
Yeah.
For me, it's more if they end up just fitting the category, regardless if they do it before puberty or after
Right,
puberty.
before it
If
should be
they
illegal,
have
I'm sorry.
The right amount of testosterone, they did the all the right testing. All
Exactly. Let
beforehand,
them experience
then
who
why
they
not?
are.
Then you don't even need to separate them. They might as well just compete as a transaction.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story.
Hormone testing is fair.
I can't speak on this. I don't know. Yeah, Grinch. I knew what you meant. That's a big dude right
The
there,
Olympics
bro.
test,
You can't just
college
become a
level
woman.
test.
That big? Yo, that's
I
a
know,
big
in
dude.
Texas, at my high school level, the UIL organization.
Exactly. They can't
tested.
decide anything. Yeah.
And you know, it's to keep everybody safe. And I think it's okay to test for hormone levels, and if that's the ultimate, like, you know, conversation here is that we're looking in people for hormone levels as a competition, then why?
All right, let's start a debate. Do y'all think D Wade is right for letting his son transition this early? Hell no. I'm with Boosie on that one, okay? Boosie Badass got it right on that one. See, another stuff will contribute hormones just one more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hell no. Yeah, hell no. It's too early. How old was she? 10, 11, 12, something like that? 9-year-olds take on. See, too early, man. Like, how can you say I'm sorry, at that age, you want to be a fucking, what? Like, you want to be an astronaut. You could walk around and say, I want to be in space right now. You know, you could walk around and say, I want to be a pirate. Should I get you a beard injection and an eye patch and a parrot? That sterilizes the kid too? Ooh, wow, really? Yeah, kids could want to be anything. How do you know that this is like a decision they're making that they are actually like feeling deep down inside that there's some kind of issue other than your kid saying, I want to be a pirate or I want to be the president. I want to be like, kids aspire and dream of a lot of different things. How do you know that it's like really, let me try this back when they get older. Wow. See, because it's just, yeah, done too early. Like you got to experience some life. Yeah, they can't even dress themselves. They don't know what they want to eat. They don't know. Yeah, they can't. Come on, man. They can't even clean up their room. Like, and you're letting them decide to cut a penis off? Oh my God. That's crazy. That's crazy. But the consensus was hell no. D Wade was self-mutilation. That's exactly what it is. D Wade was wrong. I'm sorry, bro. Did y'all see that thing with Gabrielle Union saying that if she could go back, if she was in her mind, her right mind right now, if she was back in the position of D Wade having the side baby, she would have left him back then. Clean their butts right. They don't clean their butts right, bro. They don't. Not barely, they don't. They don't know how at that age, that young. They don't know how to clean their butt. It's mental illness. They need doctor. Right. Yeah, man. But yeah, Gabrielle said if she was in her mind today, how she feels and thinks, where she's at today in her healing, if she went back and D-Wade did some shit like that, she would have left him. So they're probably having some issues. And that might play a big part. Is they dress everything up and act like everything's cool, but I'm sorry. She might think that now. Like, I wonder if back then I should have sided with him on doing some shit like that. Like, I don't know.
Great men and women. Why are we talking about men and women? We just strictly talk about hormone levels.
So there is varying levels of testosterone blockers that you can
roller
be
derby.
on.
She be beating bitches' asses in roller derby, don't she?
Higher ones, but I can guarantee you that someone like me is going to get less of a chance to be cut than a cis female because my hormones will stay the same.
Girthy.
Whereas a cis is going to be.
So they transition
all
to
over
a
the
woman
place
and then
depending
still
on
like
the,
women.
all sorts of variables.
That's weird. To
I
me.
personally
that's
think
kind of weird.
that the hormone testing is really
I
important.
guess I
and
just don't
coming
get it.
from,
I don't get it.
Like a fitness
I don't
perspective, like
get
fitness, bodybuilding, like that sort of athletics.
I don't get it.
For me, I take a lot of pride in the fact that my testosterone levels are within the normal range of a cisgender male. Obviously, performance enhancers, right? Steroids, extra testosterone, all those things are thrown around among cisgender men in the fitness world to, enhance our performance, get bigger, all that sort of thing. And for me, being able to say like, no, I am within the normal range of a cisgender man. The muscle I'm putting on, I'm naturally putting on. I don't have an advantage over anybody else that's in that normal range. So I think for me, like, it's just really important because I'm like proud of that. And I think if you just assume that a trans person has an advantage because they're taking testosterone, it's kind of like, well, what about cis men that take testosterone to get bigger and that sort of thing? So.
I mean, we know you have to put in work. You can't, like, I'm just a regular man. If I take some testosterone pills or whatever, testosterone shots or steroids or whatever, right? If I don't go to the gym and actually do the work, obviously I'm just putting shit in my body for no reason. So why is it even a point to make that, oh, they still have to do the work? We know that. They're athletes. That's what they do. That's what they do. But the point is, if you're taking something, and that's why they say in regular sports, you can't be taking something because it gives you an unfair advantage. Like, come on. Majesco. I was eating, so we went ahead and did a little video. We're doing a reaction video. But nah, for real, like, that's why in regular sports, they say the dudes are not supposed to take steroids because, yes, going to the gym and lifting weights and eating right, that's like the line to where everybody should be doing that. That's assumed. And if they're cutting it out, like, that's not assumed. Like, oh, yeah, I'm taking hormones to become this, but I still have to go work out. Yes, you do. If you want to be an athlete, you have to do that. So we don't even have to talk about that part. But the fact that you're taking those hormones gives you some kind of an advantage. Like, come on. It's pumping some testosterone into you that these other people don't have. Like, how did... This is all I had to say about trans athletes. Oh, God. Do we want to click that? Oh, yeah. Broke the skull in MMA fight. Yeah, we just talked about that. Let me look at that real quick. Because, yeah, we just talked about that. We just talked about that. Jesus. So this is the transgender on the left? Or the right? My bad. With transgender, Fallon Fox broke her opponent's skull. Broke a skull. Fallon Fox, first MMA fighter to come out as transgender once. Fractured skull of her opponent in an MMA fight in 2014. Fox challenged Tamika Brent says he's with a 45-year-old fighter brutally defeated her American opponent. The fight lasted just over 2 minutes after the referee was forced to halt the contest. That's her. Oh my God. No. Look how cut that is. Like, come on. When do women get that cut? That cut? Look at the striations in that shoulder. Yo, I could never probably have shoulders like that. Look at those shoulders. I fought a lot of women and have never felt the strength that I felt in a fight as I did that night. I can't answer whether it's because she was born a man or not because I'm not a doctor. I can only say I've never felt so overpowered ever in my life, and I'm an abnormally strong female in my own right. Her grip was different. I could usually move around in the clinch against other females, but couldn't move at all in Fox's clinch. That's what I'm saying, man. If you get what's his name? What's the fighter who fought Floyd, who's an MMA fighter? Damn. The leprechaun. What's his name? Conor. You get Conor McGregor and he go to be a woman. Come on, man. He's clinching people like they've never been clinched. He's punching people with that left hand like they've never been punched. I don't care how many fucking estrogen pills he take. Okay? I don't care how many estrogen pills he take. He's beating bitches' asses in the octagon. Do they even call it the octagon anymore? Shit. All right, let's continue.
Man.
testing for
And I am
hormones
not a
is fine.
racist.
The
I
issue
called you
is
leprechaun
what
because
you're gonna do
I
with
heard
that,
you speak
because
that language. Or
as
not that
I
language.
said
Let me stop.
earlier,
Let me stop
it's
while I'm
really
ahead.
hard to put someone
But
in
I'm not a
box because
racist
there's always
against
averages
people.
here and there for male
What
and
is it? What is
female,
it?
but
Australian
especially when you start
people.
making your way up in the
If he's
competition
Australian,
pool,
I don't know.
Those norms go out the window.
I'm not a racist,
and
though.
it then
Not a
gets
racist.
even more difficult to write legislation on what a male can compete in and what a female can compete in for if their
Nigga
hormone
Irish. Oh
levels
yeah,
are
Irish.
outside
And that's
of
leprechauns
this
are
set
Irish,
box.
right? With the
I'm
little
fine
boots.
as a trans athlete.
My
like
bad.
this.
My bad.
If I need to prove to the world that like I'm
said
a better athlete
Australian.
at the end of the day, go ahead and take my medical information. I don't care. Like I'm just trying to live my
Leprechaun
truth.
is
That's all I'm
Australian.
A cis female that's competing in a high level of track might have a normal male testosterone.
I couldn't
so now
think
you
it's
can cut them
Irish.
out
I
because
couldn't
now
think
their
of it.
Testosterone levels are too high.
I knew it was red
and
hair.
That's where legislation can get really
I'm not
difficult to
racist
write.
though. I swear.
I
A lot of
am
Irish
treated
people have red hair,
fairly
right?
By my fellow athletes.
I joined roller derby only like 4 months after I decided to
She-Hulk.
transition.
I wanna
and
see
get
him
on
in
the
action,
hormones.
her in
Everyone
action.
from the beginning was very accepting. Roller derby is almost too accepting from my experience because I forgot how bad the real world can be sometimes. Not everyone is going to be, but
Why
my
are her
personal
eyebrows so close to her
experience
eyes?
has
Is that
been
normal?
Very positive.
Growing up, in my club,
It
I
looks like
trained
her eyebrows
with,
are, like,
my
right
brother,
on
and
her
we were,
eye.
like kind of in the distance group, so it was mostly guys there, and they never really saw me as like she's a girl, you know. They just saw me as like another competitor, and it was always just fun, like racing, and like it just made me grow up love being
Correct too. I am
in
not
the
a
sporting
racist
world
by Johnny
and being competitive
Lucas.
with everyone, so, yeah.
I promise
I
I'm
definitely
not
get
a
a lot of
racist.
hate.
I love
online,
Irish people.
but I've never.
I love
personally
pots of
gotten
gold.
Any, like issues.
I love
Everyone
those
that's
little
in
boots.
the gym is just trying
Those
to
belt
get better
buckles on the
for the most
boots, those
part.
gold belt
Obviously,
buckles.
That
I love
kind of
it.
communal idea.
I
is
love it. I
really,
swear to you, I
like,
love it.
helped
I love
me,
Lucky Charms.
as far as me not.
I love
getting
Lucky
so much
Charms.
hate.
Lucky Charms is my shit.
When in high school, when I came out like prominently, everybody knew that I was trans, and there was a coach that exploited me in a lawsuit to try to ban me in high school. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Wow.
I was on hormone blockers, and it was suppressing my
Israel,
estrogen and
like, surprise
testosterone.
emoji 24/7.
Even though everybody knew who I was,
All
when
right,
it
but
came
we're not
to,
racist
like,
here, though.
after junior high, when he did that, it
We are
was
not
so
racist.
aggressive. Parents would scream from the stands that they wanted to hurt me as being a trans man, and just in my life in general. My family doesn't come.
Yeah, he has no muscle
much,
mass on his body. Like
and
his
we worked
legs
very
are
hard,
chunky, his
and
arms.
I'm
just-
like
I don't
first
see the
generation
muscle
to
mass.
try to become something. So, I mean, the haters.
Was this fight recently? Yeah, that's the one I think they were talking about. That recent one. That's the one they were talking about
coming in such short notice.
earlier. Hold on.
Miss Gr-
What the? Oh, dang. Yeah, how I'm treated. That's where I was, right? I think we were right here. Okay, hold on. Oh, did I not turn this down? All right, let's look at that thing that he just said. The first openly transgender MMA fighter in 7 years said she was receiving nasty messages calling her a cheater. Wow. Look at her. And look at that pink mushroom haircut. Wow. The first woman competing in 7 years said she was receiving nasty messages. Elena McLaughlin. No thanks. Nicknamed Lady Farrell. Fought Celine Provost in a featherweight match at the Combate Global event at Univision Studios in Miami, Florida. The fighters competed midway through the card. The match finished in the second round when McLaughlin tapped Provost with a rear naked choke. McLaughlin, 38, was supported cage side by Fallon Fox, the first only. Wow. So Fallon is fucking getting more men becoming women and taking them to the MMA scene. Fallon, stop it. It's over. Stop. Wow. Jesus. Calling me a cheater. Yeah, it's cheating, bro. I'm sorry. It's cheating. I'm sorry. To me, it's cheating. All right, we were right here. But how are some of them considered trans and they still got a penis? Bruh. Don't get me to lying. I don't know how they figure this shit out.
Sports should be gender neutral.
No! No!
Your body's a vessel. It shouldn't matter whether you're male or female. 'Cause
What?
I feel like sports in general, is growing. Especially there's this like little girl in wrestling. She wrestled in the junior division in wrestling and nationals in the 106-pound division, and she kicked all the guys' asses.
And how old was she again?
Good for you. So I feel like as the sport's growing, as we're evolving,
Yeah,
as
I could tell.
society,
I could
and we're being
tell.
very progressive. That it should get to the point if we're talking about gender neutral bathrooms, why can't we talk about gender neutral sports?
I actually rode and.
I'm sorry. How do y'all feel about gender neutral bathrooms? Like, Afton, all the girls in the chat, Afton's walking into your bathroom. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Afton, yeah, fuck no. Afton walks into your bathroom. That's crazy to me. I'm sorry. That's a little crazy. I don't feel like, yeah. I'm sorry, man. And I'm not discriminating. I'm not saying you can't be whatever you want to be or do whatever you want to do, but everyone shouldn't be subject to those things that you want to do. So it's like, you want to do that, cool, but you're not about to make all these women uncomfortable while walking into their bathroom when you're a fucking 6'8" man wanting to be a woman. Like, it's gonna make them uncomfortable. So now you don't care about everybody else.
Showed equestrian for 10 years, and I was like one of two men at the time. And then
Wait, they're allowed to use opposite bathrooms and showers? They passed a law. Wow. So you can be a woman, no, a man that turned into a woman, and you can use both? Is that what you're saying? No, or you could just use, basically, yeah, like I said, you can walk into the woman's bathroom. Oh, man. Yeah, man, you don't want that thing. You don't want Afton coming into your bathroom as a woman. You just don't want that. I'm sorry. Look at the face right now. How many chins is that? Afton's not even fat and he got 3 chins. Oh, man.
there are other roller derby leagues that are co-ed and they work fine. Like women are going up against men and they're bashing each other and they're like going at it. There's a lot of things, and I feel like sports
looks
are
like a
one of
bore.
these things
You know
where
what?
it's like, it has to be this.
Actually
or it
does.
has to be that.
Afton
the
look
same
like
as gender.
a bore.
It has to be this or it has to be that, and it's not.
Basically,
for me, the issue that I would start seeing with this is when we start looking at scholarships.
He probably didn't
And
make
for
his roller
college
derby
level,
team in high
if
school
you
and then
start
said, "Fuck that,
combining the
I'm gonna be a
sports by
woman. I'm
gender,
gonna make the
then
professional women's
the
roller
scholarships are
derby
always given
team."
to the top athletes. What happens to the females that
Mm-hmm.
now need that scholarship necessarily to go to college, but now you've just all thrown them into one category? It all of a sudden breaks that whole opportunity for them to maybe even go to college, because now they've been training to be able to provide for themselves in college. And now, since it's all one level playing field, maybe they can beat the males, but on average, they probably won't be able to, especially depending on the sport.
So trans athletes aren't even getting scholarships either. I'm a two-time state champion in high school, didn't get a scholarship.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I just now been able to get my scholarship 3 years into being on a male team.
I
But
wonder
we're
why.
talking like hypothetically in the perfect world if sports was gender
Yeah,
neutral.
and that's what I'm saying,
then-
like it's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
Everything's hypothetical in a sense because we don't have enough analytical data.
I feel as though making all sports gender neutral in that way,
Wow, her
there
ears
is
are big.
still some
Yo, those ears are
biological,
huge.
benefits
Look at
to
that.
being born a man versus being born a
Her ears are pretty
female.
big.
I just can't get over the fact that there are going to be all these very obvious differences, not advantages, but just differences in if we had gender neutral sports.
It's not going to be a co-ed team versus an all-male team. It's going to be a co-ed team versus a co-ed team. So I feel like there would still be strategy that it would have to be played into it.
I'm thinking more like individually.
Yeah, individual. And I could see like where you're coming
Right,
from
I
that.
feel you,
and
Keon, I
you
feel you.
mentioned wrestling earlier. Just the whole combat sport community in general does have a long way to go. Definitely not completely supportive of trans athletes, but in a sense of like when I've noticed
Yeah,
in
if
just
you
like
got,
studying of how like
dudes
female
becoming chicks
athletes
out here
are and
breaking
male
jaws,
athletes are,
yeah.
the best like MMA female athletes, cis, have male training partners. And most of the time, like, they're kicking their ass unless, like, they're training for, or unless they have somebody that's better than them to push them. And then that's just making them a better athlete.
In my opinion, like, kids are extremely accepting. I have 2 gorgeous kids. And
Hold on. So he got 2 kids, or Afton got 2 kids. So what role did Afton play in the birth of these kids? Was it a he and he messed with a girl and then she got pregnant and those are his kids? Because he can't have kids, obviously. Or did he keep his penis? He might like women. So, oh man, see, it's just so confusing. So he turns into a woman, or he might adopt it, but he turns into a woman, he keeps his penis, and then he's still inserting his penis in women, and then a girl that he wants to be with, and he's impregnating the girl. Like, that's weird. And to each their own, but it's a little weird, you know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. And so now you have, as the kids, you have your regular mom, and then you have your 6'5" dad mom. Like, what? The trans of the shit brother is married to a woman with kids. Wow. Man, I don't know, man.
It's so
It's
cool
different.
to have
It's
them play on
different.
the playground and explain to their new friends who I am, and like watch
That's the
them do that.
Kardashians, how they
And
feel.
their friends will be like, "Oh, okay," you know. But you talk to an adult, and they're like, you know, because you have this instilled, like what you were saying, this instilled education from the time you were born, that has basically said that no, this is wrong. You have to have this group. You have to have this group. You have to have this group. Like I do talk about it a lot with people, but I have to understand that it's not my responsibility to educate everyone. Like I have to be able to cross that line where it's like mentally I can't do it anymore. Like I need to step back for a little bit. But like you said, like ask questions. Like if you're genuine, as long as I know it's not malicious,
Yeah.
ask a question. Don't freaking ask me about my genitals. Like
Yeah.
that's none of your freaking
Be
business.
respectful.
I just want to know, like, have you guys ever had, like, you were talking about your scholarship. Do you guys feel like you have less opportunity in the sense of, like, competitions and, like, scholarships just because you guys are trans?
When COVID started, roller derby, since then, has not gotten back together. So I lost my sport, which was something that was, like, really kept my brain in focus and, like, centered me. So I got into powerlifting. I lift because I enjoy it.
I bet.
But I don't even try and compete just because
You
people
know,
are gonna
like the backlash.
I don't want the backlash.
Yeah, look, you're fucking 6'1",
Yeah, it's
6'2".